such an easy work. Bye, Blaze. He's a good boy. And out just like that. Hey farm fam, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new, welcome. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a video that I've done multiple times, but haven't done in a while, since actually our old property. And I haven't done this since we've been at the new property, and since then we have acquired many new animals and a lot of things have changed, and we've actually rehomed animals. As you guys saw when we moved, we got rid of the turkeys. And I've been seeing in my comments a lot lately, you guys are asking specific questions about the history of a lot of my animals and just wanting to know a little bit more about my animals. So we're gonna go ahead and go into depth. So this is probably gonna be a long one because we have a lot of animals. So grab your popcorn, do whatever you have to do, and get ready for the long haul. Alright you guys, if you guys are excited for today's video and meeting all of my pets, make sure you go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below. Make sure you turn on those post notifications so you don't miss any of these videos, and of course have a chance to my post notification shout out. Alright you guys, let's get right into meeting all my pets. First dog, since he's right here and they're all outside right now because we're playing outside, is Bama. So you guys got to watch Bama's whole journey with us here at the farm because he was actually a foster when we were fostering a lot of puppies, and we actually had 3 puppies at one time. He came from Alabama. He was only about 6 weeks when I got him. So we fostered him with every intention to find him a really good home and just be a foster parent. And then we foster failed and he became a permanent resident here at the farm. So now though, he just had his first birthday not too long ago. So he is officially 1 year old and he is a great dog. He's our only male dog that we have, and that was my eye, Lexi. And Bama is actually from Alabama. That's where he directly came from, and they shipped him down in a vehicle to the rescue down here in Florida, and that's how his name ended up being Bama. It was a super last minute name that we had to give him, but it was not supposed to be permanent. It was just that he needed a name and he's off, and we didn't have one, so I said okay, Alabama, Bama, and we came up with Bama. Never really planned to change it, but we always used to call him Burger when he was a baby because he loved his little toy burger. So he actually will come to Burger and Bama. So he's interchangeably a little Bama and he is interchangeably a little Burger and Bama. We always like call him like a Whopper Jr. or something like that. I don't know, but he's just a little burger. But he is one of 4, so he's a great little dog, but he's a lot smaller than them, and he is a lab mix. We did his DNA test on him like you guys saw, and he was lab and a bunch of other mixes, but I see a lot of lab in him. So I guess next step, since she's right in front of me, is Lexi. And Lexi is, like Bama, another foster failure. So again, we actually fostered her in our last home, and we fostered 2 dogs at the same time. Had no idea what we were getting when we fostered her. We were just asked if we could foster another one, and along came Lexi. So Lexi is about 4.5. She will be 5 this year, and like I said, we were just planning to foster her, but unlike Bama, where we took a while to actually decide if we were going to keep him, we instantly pretty much knew that we were going to keep Lexi, and at the time we only had like 2 dogs, so it was a lot easier to say yes to another dog. She is full yellow lab through and through, but this is literally the fastest dog you will ever meet. Just kidding. She's such a fast and athletic dog though, and we have not yet met a dog that has met her that was faster than her. So she's a really cool dog. We absolutely love her. Next up is Daisy. So Daisy is my first ever golden retriever, and she was like my first ever dog that was my dog. So we got her really, really young. She was a tiny itty bitty baby, and now she just turned 7 years old. She has epilepsy, she has chronic pancreatitis, she has arthritis, hip dysplasia. She has a lot of medical conditions, but she is a little trooper. And she's such a nice dog. Mike and I always say she is the nicest dog we've ever met. She wouldn't hurt literally an ant or anything like that. She's such a nice dog, and she made me absolutely fall in love with animals. Not that I didn't love them before Daisy, but just being around her and having to deal with all of her conditions really put a soft spot for animals in me. So Miss Daisy is our original first animal that we had, technically, before the farm and everything. She was the first animal. Last but not least of the dogs is Miley. So Miley actually was born in Georgia from a breeder. Ever since we got Daisy, I fell in love with golden retrievers, but I really wanted a white one because they are super not common in my area, and I feel like in general a little bit. So I wanted a little Miley, and I got her, and she looked like a little cotton ball. And we always call her the most underrated dog because she is a very quiet dog. She doesn't need a lot of attention, and she kind of just does her own thing. She's very independent, loves lizards. She chases lizards all the time. But fun fact, Miley has never actually caught a lizard. So she stares at them and acts like she's gonna catch them, but she has never caught a lizard in her life. So she just stares off. But she's a really, really nice dog. She's actually our alpha dog, if you guys can believe that. She is top dog in our pack of dogs. She rules the roost, but she's not a mean dog, so it's good, but she's definitely the boss of them. And if we had to say who is our meanest dog, it's probably her, only because she's alpha and she will maybe put them in her place or just do top dog things. But she's a great dog. She's super cool. Super cool, and always sneezes when she's upside down. But another fun fact about her, how she is upside down right now, she loves to lay upside down all throughout the house. She's always upside down. So this is what Miley does when she looks for lizards. So this is how she looks outside 98% of the times, is staring at the tree and looking at lizards. So she is a really cute dog, and I love that she is all white. And last fact about Miley. Last fact about Miley, she's about only like 6 months older than Lexi, so she has already turned 5 this year. So she is our 5-year-old now, but she's always super nice and acts really young. She has 0 health conditions or anything like that, so she's a really easy dog. So now is Miss Penelope. So we got her when she was an itty bitty baby, 5 weeks old, and she is our inside mini pig. You guys always ask why one of my pigs is inside and why one is outside, because she has been born and raised literally from the day she was born, because I got her at 5 weeks, but she was inside her whole life, even before that. From the day that she was born, she's been inside, so she's an inside pig. She's technically a mini pig, but pigs aren't ever, let's say, mini. So sometimes I feel like when people get mini pigs or think about mini pigs, they think that they're gonna be maybe 10 to 20 pounds, but Penelope is small, but she weighs over 60 pounds. So she is a mini pig compared to big pigs, but she's a mini pig, and she's a Juliana crossed with a Ossabaw hog. So yes, a hog, but if you see her long snoot right there, is because she has that hog in her. So if you Google like normal, let's say normal mini pigs, potbelly pigs, Julianas, they're gonna have a really short and stubby nose, kind of like Stewie's. As you guys will see, his nose is a lot shorter than Penelope. She has a very long snout, and currently she has a really long coat, and this is what she grows in the winter times, and then they do something called blowing their coat, so she will completely get rid of her coat. So like I said, we got Penelope when she was only 5 weeks old. Penelope is actually now 3 years old, and for many years of her life, she slept in the bed with us, but now that she is a bit older and a lot bigger, she sleeps in a dog bed in my bedroom. So she acts just like a dog. She was raised with dogs, but we never keep her alone with the dogs just because it's rule with them with pigs. But she does act just like a dog, and she is more of a guard dog or guard animal than any of my dogs, because if she meets strangers, she actually can be not the nicest. And Penelope can be very temperamental with people, so you really have to get on Penelope's good side because she judges quickly. Right, Penel? She's a judgy little pig. And when she isn't very fond of you, she will definitely let you know. I know in the videos she always seems super nice and sweet, but I am her favorite person. So that's why you guys see that side of her, but there is a whole nother side of Penelope that is not the nicest side. She is very stuck in her ways. Next up are the cats. So we actually have 4 cats. We have 4 barn cats, and only 3 of them came from the old house. So one from the old house is Domino, and I actually don't know how old he is. In his rescue post that when I got him from the rescue, he was an urgent rescue. There was really not a lot of information about him. It was just that he needed off the streets, and here we are. So he's a great barn cat. You guys have seen him come inside at some times and be a house cat for a little bit and not absolutely love it, and now he's back outside being a barn cat, and he absolutely is thriving. Next cat is Bagel. Bagel is the fattest of our barn cats. As you guys can see, he eats really well. He is probably our coolest barn cat though. He's always in the barn typically, and when we are in the barn, he's always in the barn. He's such a mush, but he has a weird thing about him that if he's outside, you cannot touch him and you cannot pick him up, but if he wants to come inside, which we let them all come inside, then you are able to pick him up and he will act slightly more like a house cat. But as you can see, he's so stinking cute. And his story, I don't have really a clear story about him, and I don't even know at all how old he is. He came from a couple that rescued him and needed to get him off the street as well. So that's how we have him. He's a great barn cat. He thrives outside and is very good about his surroundings. So the last two barn cats are our black cats, and this is crazy. So originally he got his name because he was the craziest of all the black cats. He still is. Technically he's not even crazy anymore. He's just very shy, but at the time it was very fitting. So that's how he got his name, and it was Crazy. Crazy is Mishka's brother, and also at the time we had gotten his other brother as well, but he ran off at our old house a long time ago. And then also he came with our cat Peaches, who ran away when we moved to this house. So now of the four that we had originally gotten, we only have Crazy and Mishka. So speaking of, let's go find Mishka because he's the only one that's not here right now. So I have found Mishka right here. Mishka kitty! And as you guys know, he is Crazy's brother, and you guys always ask how I tell them apart. So Crazy is smaller than Mishka and has stripes in the sunlight, while Mishka doesn't. Mishka is probably the wildest of them all, but he's really nice and he will let you pet him and such. He doesn't really like to be picked up though, but super cool looking cat. He looks very Egyptian. And then we named him Mishka randomly. I don't know why, but I just did in my barn at the old house. And then randomly one day I googled what that even meant. Trigger! I googled what that even meant, and Google said that it meant like Michael in Russian, so we thought that was really funny because Mike's name obviously. All right, so we're out here with the cows now, and Moose is laying down, and he's a massive, massive cow, guys. So first cow that we have here is the first cow that we ever got, and we got him at 5 weeks old. He was a bottle baby, literally fed him from a bottle for so long, and we raised him with the dogs. That's why he acts like a big dog now, and he doesn't understand really that he's a cow, I think. But like I said, we got him also at 5 weeks old, and now he is also 3 years old, just kind of like Penelope. We got her at 5 weeks, and now she's 3. Same thing with him, and he's just huge. So he's a dairy cow, and he's massive. Dairy cows metabolize differently than beef cows. So dairy cows are technically used for milk production, so their body conformation is different. So as you guys will see, sometimes his hips will look a little bit more sunken in, or areas past his big huge belly that he has, because that's just a dairy cow conformation. He has his horns. We never dehorned him, probably should have because he is really funny about them, and they're just big, and they're not even like sharp, but they really hurt. So his breed is actually a Jersey Angus cross. So technically he is a little bit half of a beef cow technically, but so the Jersey though is exactly what Jolene is, and then an Angus cow would be like your beef cow. So that's what he is mixed with. And I got him from a dairy farm. At dairy farms, oftentimes they will get rid of the bulls when they are born, because obviously to produce milk, cows have to be pregnant. So that's kind of his situation, where he came from, out of a dairy farm, and we just fed him off a bottle. We had a couple scares with him when he was a baby, typical bottle calf scares, like scours and such like that. But here we are, and he literally was raised with dogs. He has come into my house many times when he was a baby and was raised right beside the dogs. He even stayed in the pasture with the dogs. So he's just a big old dog, and now he just likes to jump on us like a dog. But as you can see, he's just laying here. He's so good about just being hung out with, and he's just massive. Like, he's so big, and he's such a cool cow. Right, Moosey? Right, Moosey? He's a good boy. He's such a good boy. He's a misunderstood cow though, and he doesn't, he doesn't like children. So if you are shorter than him, or I shouldn't even say children, but if you are shorter than him, he will try to headbutt you and knock you down. So they all have their little quirks, and that's Moosey. And for size comparison, you guys, with Moose, Mike is 6 foot tall. Look where he stands next to Moose. You guys can see. Moosey, look at us. He's like, I'm not looking at the camera anymore. He is just so massive. There we go. Mike's helping him look this way. Moosey. So he's a big boy. He's a really big cow. Well, technically, he's a steer. If we're going to talk technical, Moose is a steer. Steer means a bull that was castrated. He cannot produce babies. Now we have the beloved Jojo, Jolene, Jojo Bean, Jelly Horns, every nickname that you can give a cow, she has. So she is my prized possession, dream pet that I always wanted after we got property. And she is a dairy cow. She's a Jersey cow. So she's so cute though. I feel like she's kind of mini, but maybe she'll have a big growth spurt here soon. We also didn't ever cut her horns, and she would look a lot girlier if we did trim her horns. You gonna get him? So Jojo, you guys also got to see from literally 2 days old. We got her when she was just like a day or two old, and you guys saw we also bottle fed her. Same thing that we did with Moose, but we learned a lot with Moose and applied the new things to Jolene. I absolutely love her build, but like I was saying, she's a dairy cow, so her conformation, as you can see just right here, same thing. They're a little bit more sunken in than your beef cows, and then up here, but she actually has a great conformation, so she's not as sunken in, and they have huge bellies. So she's a really cute cow. I really want to one day breed her because I love her colors. And if you guys remember, she started off white in the face, but she's only a year old still, and she is pretty small still, but she has the cutest little udders. And there they are. So she's a great cow. I absolutely love her. I think cows are so cool. Last cow, but not least. So he is our cow with the longest horns ever. And technically he's also a steer. And he is a mini Zebu. So as you guys can see, the hump right there on his back. And a lot of people ask what that is. It's literally just his breed. He's a mini Zebu. And he is actually very scared of people. We got him when he was 9 months old. He's got to be around like 3.5 now. He's so much smaller than the other cows. He's way smaller than Jolene even. But he's just never really had a liking to people. So we got him from a friend who wanted him to be like Moose and be just as friendly as Moose. But we have found out recently that Zebus are not like technically like the friendliest, most personable compared to like your typical, you know, Jersey cow or whatever. So a lot clearer why he doesn't want anything to do with us. But he's a nice cow. He's actually our easiest cow technically because he doesn't want to ever jump on us, and he's never in the way, and he's never bugging us. Because Jojo and Moose are always bugging us and in the way when we're trying to do things, but he's a really cool looking cow. He's definitely the most interesting to look at. Like, look at those horns. Oh my gosh. You are so pretty. So cool. So for a size comparison, you can see Joe literally towers over him these days. So he's a very small cow because she's not even that tall, to be honest. While we're out here in the cow pasture, we will talk about the chickens from afar as well because they are not really handleable. So this right here is my little rooster. Hey, he's a bantam rooster. So he's smaller than the rest of the flock because he's my only bantam. So basically bantam is a mini chicken. Then right here, this is my leg bar. She actually doesn't have a name, but she produces really pretty blue eggs. So I really love. And when we got her, she used to have a twin sister, but you guys know that we've had a lot of incidents with the coyotes and the foxes. So we no longer have her twin sister. A particular characteristic about this chicken is that they almost have like muffin top heads, if that makes sense. So if you can see at the top of her head, it is not as like flat. It kind of poofs up at the top. So some more of the chickens are over here. There's 4 hens over here, and then my main rooster right here. We have had this rooster for so long. He's actually, which I thought Americana, but he might be like an Easter egg rooster. I don't know. He's a really nice rooster, and he absolutely loves treats. And he does really well at protecting his flock, so he's really cool. You can only have a certain amount of roosters with your hens, and luckily we have lucked out with him because he's so good about his hens, and he's really nice to humans. So the other birds over here, this bird is an Americana right here. She's really pretty. She's like actually like an Americana olive egger though. I think she's like a little bit of a backyard breed, but she will produce sometimes blue eggs and most of the time olive green eggs. Then back there is my light Brahma. I absolutely love this type of chicken, and I actually love them in the roosters because they're so big and have really fluffy feet. And then back there, the little black chicken, she is my naked neck. So basically she has absolutely no feathers on her neck. It's on purpose. They are born without them and they will never grow them. She's a super cool little hen. From like the 3 years of having chickens, is my first ever chicken that has produced a double yolker egg for me. So that means 2 yolks in 1 egg. So I'm very happy with her. Then over here I have my golden laced Wyandotte. I got her from a friend a long time ago, and she is a pretty old bird now, I feel like. So she is definitely one of our oldest that we have. And this right here is one of my oldest hens from my very, very original flock. I had her as a chick, and here comes Hey Hey. Hey, leave her alone! And now the roosters are going to have, see what I mean? Because he's a really good rooster, and why it's so important to have your hen to rooster ratio really good. Those are his hens, so he says no no to Hey Hey. But they get along really well. Besides that, they just have, you know, he's just very protective of his hens, so I can't blame him. Anyways, moving back on to this hen. She is one of my very, very first, when I first ever started having chickens, and she's an Americana and lays blue eggs. So that's it for the big chickens. I know we hardly have any right now, but we have so many, and you guys will see, that are growing old right now. And you guys, but do you guys see how dirty my hands are? Oh my gosh, I just noticed in the viewfinder how dirty they were, and that's from the cows. Cows are dirty. So let's go into our pig pen and let's talk about Stewie. So now that we're in with Stewie, he's gonna knock me over. So as you guys can see, like I was just comparing, for instance, with Penelope, his snoot, which I like to call them, is a lot shorter than Penelope's. He's a potbelly, and then when we actually got his test trim the other day, they kind of suggested that he could be mixed with Coon Coon, and out just like that. So I definitely think that he does have some Coon Coon in him. You guys should Google them, they're really cute. But just because he's so tall and big, and they still think that he's gonna get even bigger, but he's really tall. Like I said, with Penelope, he also has his winter coat and he'll blow it as well, but he does keep more of a longer coat, and I absolutely love his colors. I like that he is like spotted white and black, but he's probably around 2 to 2.5 now. We got him around 8 months old. We got him from a friend, and she rescued him from an auction where in turn he would probably have been slaughtered. So he came here. He's literally the nicest pig ever, especially because he is actually a boar. So he's an unaltered male, which he really needs to get neutered, and we're gonna get him neutered. But I cannot imagine how much nicer he will be because he's such a nice pig. And all you have to do really is look at him and he falls over, as you guys just saw. And he likes to swim in his water trough and have a lot of fun in here. And he's just a really cool pig. Everyone that comes here likes to play with him, and he has really cute small little ears, but really cool pig. Fun fact, pigs. All right, you guys, so popping inside really quick. Why are you looking at me like that? To, one, wash my hands, and also to let you guys meet our kittens. So on the channel, you guys have also seen them literally from just 2 weeks old. When we had the mama cat in them, they were found in a local hospital, and we had to go through a whole process with the county so that they could become our cats. So basically, we have raised them from very young. They're in our house now, just getting used to everything, and then eventually, if they work out, they will be barn cats. This cat will definitely be a barn cat because she really wants to be outside, and she's very wild. As you guys can see, she hardly really wants me to hold her. But all 3 of the kittens are now about 6 months old, and they are all siblings, and they're all girls, and you will see how different they all look. And they actually had a 4th sibling, which was a boy, but we gave him to our friend. And he looks just like the little gray kitty, but this kitty is so cute, and I absolutely love her, but she is definitely the least like friendly of them all, as far as just being like cuddly and stuff. It's not really for her. So next up now is the little black kitten. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys that the little striped kitty, we call her Tiger Lily. And this little kitten is the little black kitten. It's crazy that they're all related, because not even like just related, but you know, out of the same exact litter. And this one, we don't really have a name for her exactly. We called her Toothless for a little bit and Nugget for a little bit, but we don't really like call the cats by their names anyways. So we don't really call her like much of anything, but she is a really friendly kitten, probably the friendliest of all of them. She's always in your business trying to figure out what's going on. So I'm not sure if she'll become a barn cat or not, but she's just hanging out as of now. So last but not least, with the kittens, we actually need to go find the last kitten, which is our gray kitty, Stella, because she is the most stealth and secretive and always hiding, so we actually have to find her. So let's go find her. All right, you guys, I got her. She is actually the most cuddly, I will say, out of all 3 kittens. And once you catch her, she is so kind. She is definitely going to be staying an inside cat because she loves people and she's just so shy. I don't think she would be very great outside just because she really likes to just hide and just doesn't really like to be by much. She's not really like a social cat either, but with just Mike and I, she will play with us all day and she likes to just be pet. But when other people are around, you cannot find her. She is always hiding, but she's such a pretty cat. The fourth cat looked just like her, but male version. She's a very, very sweet cat though. She's my little Stella girl. So these are all of our little kittens. Right, Stella? And she's always purring. Once you pick her up, she is purring. She's a very purry little kitty. So I'm in my tack room because I've got a lot of chicks and little duck chicks in here. So you guys just recently saw, these are the newest members of the farm. What are you doing? So we have Squeaky and Lemon because little ducks look like lemons. So we have Lemon and Squeaky. Squeaky is very loud, but they are really cute and they have already gotten so big and they absolutely love to bite. So they're always biting us, but not like hard, but just like this. They are so sweet. I always said I wouldn't get ducks after we had one that we had rescued at our old farm. And then they were so cute at Tractor Supply. I just said that because they were really dirty. Ducks in general are really dirty. They just poop a lot and their poop is really nasty. But now that our bird's pretty much free range, they aren't in the coop as much, so we can keep things a lot cleaner. You are just really going to town here on my fingers. But they are absolutely adorable, and this one's just really taking a go at my fingers. But they've only got to be like a couple weeks old, and I don't know exactly like what kind of ducks they are. I'm really not good at ducks. I don't really know much about them, but they will turn white when they are bigger. So these are my new ducks. We actually have 13 chicks right now, and that's just chicks that are alive right now because we actually have some that are incubating in eggs that we will have more. But this is just one of the 13 chicks because they're just running everywhere and it's too hard to catch them all. But I wanted to show you guys this one in particular because like my black turkin out in the pasture, like I showed you guys, this is what they look like when they are newly born. So they're just a couple weeks old now though, but as you can see, no feathers on her neck, just like the black hen outside. So really cool little chickens, but this is my turkin. So we have a bunch of chicks, like I said, 13 of them, and then some that are still incubating. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot more hens and maybe a couple roosters here really soon because we have the chicks. So 13 chicks. So cute. All right, you guys, home stretch. We were out in the pasture with the donkey and the horses, and right here behind me is Dinky, our new donkey. So she's just hiding back over here by herself. She knows where all the shade is, so that's where she is. Dinky is our Jenny donkey, so she's a female donkey, and she is chocolate in color. That's what they refer to donkeys that look like this. She's so sweet. She's really coming around. As you guys know, she was... What was that about? You got something in your nose? As you guys know, she was really underweight and she was neglected, but now she's here. Does your nose itch? She's got little allergies right now. We're sneezing here. But she was really underweight and she is making up her weight a lot. She's got huge ears and she is officially halter broke, but she's really sweet to people. And she is our livestock guardian animal, so that's exactly what her real purpose here was. And then of course she was more of a rescue neglect situation, and she has been just started on grain, and she has a newfound love for treats. So she's probably looking for that because she's always looking for treats now. She's smelling something on my elbow. But Dinky is probably around 9 months to a year. We don't really know, that's not solidified. We had multiple different kind of answers on her age. She is so cute and she's a standard donkey. So if you guys know, mini donkeys are probably already half the size of her at full grown, and she's a standard donkey and is probably just around like a year-ish. So she has a lot more to grow. She's gonna get a lot taller, fill a lot more out, and look how massive her ears are. And Dinky is off. But that's pretty much about Dinky. So we're on to the horses, and right here we have Cash. He is a lineback dun quarter horse, so he really does have a line on his back, and he is technically not really much of a colt anymore because he is 4. Why are you trying to come over underneath here? And he's a quarter horse, like I said, so he is the same breed as Blaze. So since Cash is only 4, he's just recently been broke to ride in about the last year. He's had a good amount of rides on him. He's a very like non-spooky horse, but he's definitely not completely broke. So he definitely has a lot of more training to go through. I haven't taped Cash, like measured him in a while, but I would assume he's probably like 14.2-ish, maybe 14.3. So he's not terribly too tall, but he's definitely not our shortest horse. So next up is Trigger. You guys are all pretty much really familiar with him. He's the first horse that I purchased, and he is a 12-year-old Morgan, and he is our tallest horse. He's probably at like 15.2-ish, and he has the longest mane of all of our horses. He has so much hair. His mane and tail grow a lot. He is our hardest keeping horse, so he drops weight during different seasons. It's hard to keep weight on him, but right now he is shedding his winter coat and he's looking really good. But when winter starts to hit, or as soon as summer starts to hit, he'll fluctuate weight. Since he is a Morgan, he is gated, so what that means is just a little bit different of a ride than our quarter horses. I think he's a really fun horse to ride. He's obviously the main horse that I ride. Super, super willing horse. He will work cows, he will try to do a barrel pattern, and he will jump trees and logs when we go on trail rides. He is definitely not like a kid or beginner safe horse because he is so spooky. So he does spook a lot, but I feel like that's just the nature of the breed because our other Morgan Louie that we'll get to is also really spooky, as you guys know. But overall, he's a really good horse. He's really funny to mess with. Mike loves to mess with him because he is spooky and you can really easily get under Trigger's skin. But he has a huge, huge, huge personality. That's why he's always around and always likes to be the star of the show. But next up right here, they're playing, so I'm not gonna disturb them terribly too much, but is Louie right here. He's probably around 18 to 20 years old right now, give or take, because he was a kill pen rescue. I have a whole story on my channel. I keep getting a lot of questions about him lately though, and his journey and kind of where he's at, because I did do a story on my channel about him maybe about a year or two ago, and where he's progressed since then. Can you guys quit it? Anyways, so like I said, he's probably around 8 to 20 just because that's approximate. We've never really had a full true age on him, but he's a Morgan just like Trigger. He is so funny, but he, as you guys know, is our most scaredy cat horse. He's definitely broke to ride. We just don't ride him often, ever, really. I've only ridden him a handful of times, but he is a really pretty horse who has a lot of trust issues with a lot of people, with everybody. He is a one-person horse at this point in his life, but he is about probably 15 hands. Look, what are they doing? What are you two doing? Mike, look at your horse. Oh, that was a good bite. Anyways, Louie is literally the same color all around from mane to tail, head to toe. He is like all the same color. Doesn't have any pretty much like white markings except like tiny couple hairs right there in the middle of his eyes, like between his eyes. But other than that, he is the same color, and he absolutely loves horses though. As you can see, they play like this and do this all the time. He's actually more buddies with Cash than he is Blaze, and as you can see how they are playing. All right, so now our easiest horse, most broke horse, Blaze. So he is 10 going on 11. He's a quarter horse. He's technically like a cracker horse, but he is so short in my opinion. He's probably like 14 hands, maybe 14.1. Mike just signaled to me that he's 14.1 because he's going to give him any extra that he can. But he's a really short horse, awesome horse, a super bomb-proof horse, kid safe, I would say. He literally will do anything like Trigger will, but he's less spooky. He'll work cows, he'll do a barrel pattern, he'll be in a rodeo. Pretty much anything that you want him to do, he'll do it. And he's just a really cool horse. I do all of my TikTok tricks and things like that, or if I have to do any video that you guys want to see me do on one of my horses, typically with him, because he really will pretty much do anything. I'm in the pasture here just on him, and he's just so easy. You guys have seen Mike literally jump from behind him and jump on him. He's just such an easy horse, and he's so big and heavy, and he's our easiest keeper, should I say. You literally don't have to feed him anything. He would get fat off air. He's just a really cool horse, and we'll let you do anything. And I'm doing this purposely backwards so you guys can see how he doesn't care. If we have any friends or anything like that, they will ride him because he's just such an easy horse. Bye, Blaze. Alright, you guys, so we just met all of my animals, all 40 something animals. Guys, if you counted, let me know what the count is down below, because I'm very interested in what you guys got compared to what I know it is. So if you guys kept up really well with the video, let me know in the comments down below how many animals we talked about today. So I want to see your guys' comments. I'm obviously going to be replying back to like all of them. Sorry, Blaze. But if you guys liked meeting all of my pets, I feel like I took 2 hours to film this video because there's so many things about them and so many quirky little things about them all that I wanted to fill you guys in on. So if you guys liked today's video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up for all of my animals, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below so you can see more of these animals all the time. Don't forget to turn those post notifications on so you don't miss any of these videos, and of course have a chance for my post notification shout out. Stop hiding behind me. Today's shout out goes to, are you guys, I love you, or we love you, and we'll see you in the next one.